Hey there, folks. I'm Joe Crawford of art1.com. Pretty much every day I go to CSSBattle.dev, do the daily target, and record it. Today's, ooh, kind of interesting, huh? That's a fun shape. So what is this shape and how do we accomplish it? Um, you know what it has me thinking? Let's do one of these little couplets and see if there's an interesting way to do that with a radial gradient. We're gonna find out real quick, real quick. All right, so we put the way we do this: move these margins to the paragraph tag and set some different margins. 10, 20 maybe on the last of the left margin, and the top margin we're gonna call 0. We'll call it -8. And then this height needs to be 130, 40, 140. I think that means this last margin is actually 22. Right margin is 200, 220, 222. Okay, so if that's the box, we do a radial gradient of, and because this is a square, I think we can just do radial, we can just do the color, some value, probably 70 pixels radius, and then transparent. And that creates a perfect circle. And then if we move it -70, actually, we need a 0 first, and then a -70 pixels, then we get that shape. Yeah. So that kind of does it. Then we need to make 4 of them, right? So if I do what? Display flex and then make 4, and then ignore, put the margins instead of there, I'm going to put the margins here. And then I need height and width of 140, I believe. And then I actually need to set width and height on the background. Okay. Oh, there. Oh, so we got 4. So I need a flex wrap. Flex wrap. That's what I did wrong. Flex wrap wrap. So there they are. There are my weird shapes. All right. And I need to set some margins and do different things. So margin -8, 10 or something. So let's see what we can do. See if we can force that. We need a gap of 10 pixels, 10 pixels. I don't know what the proper gap is going to be. Minus, okay, so there's 20, 30, minus 16. Okay, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. This kind of is working. If I set this gap to 0, will we get it? Almost. The reality is that these paragraph elements have a a margin default top and bottom that are screwing me up. So I need to add a margin 0, I believe. All right, and then that actually changes what I need to do here. 10, 20, 0. Okay, and then we increase this margin. No, 60. No, we increase this margin from 10 to 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and it's an even 20. All right. So this is one approach. Hardy har har. Oh, and that's 99.9%. So that's actually not a perfect match. So this is probably not a good approach. As much as it's fun to experiment with that. Probably if I do what? 71 pixels. I think what's impacting me is the fit of that. Oh, 99.9. We might have a 99.9 problem. So occasionally, for those of you who have not watched too many of these videos or not done too many of these puzzles, sometimes the match is just not quite good enough, even though it looks dead on. And so that's what's going on here. And so, yeah, we're not gonna mess around. I certainly am not motivated to play with this forever. So let's go. Rather than use radial gradient as our background, which I think is the problem, we're going to use elements. So what elements are we going to make? I think we make two of these little ball guys, and then we use box shadows, top and bottom for each one. So let's do the first one first. The one on the left. Okay. So we need some margins there. And this is probably all those same margins that we did before. 2, 0, -8. No, I want to actually push it down, don't I? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. And that height needs to be 160. Oh, 160 is correct. Okay. And then margin on the left, 20, 222. Okay, now we have a border radius of, how about 1 inch? Let's try that. Oh, we have a bad character. We used a quote mark. There we go. And then we'll make this a linear gradient. Or actually, since we need color for box shadow anyway, I'm going to set color to be this. Remove the background and do box shadow 0 -160 pixels, and then 0 160 pixels, and then inset 0 100 pixels. Oh, no, that won't work unless, well, I need the color anyway. So I'm not going to bother with that. Yes, there are ways to alter the background to get what I want, but I don't feel motivated to do that. So I'm going to do a standard linear gradient with, I'll do it with 3 color stops rather than use a background position. So it's color, transparent, color. So now I need the color stops that are going to match this. 70 pixels, 0, 100 pixels, 0. Is that right? Or is that, no, that's not aligned. Okay, so this needs to be 90, 90. Okay. And then I make another one, creating a negative margin. And the height is going to be roughly 160. 160, 200. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do so I can see what I'm doing. I'm going to say color black. So now I can more readily see the thing that I'm making. 2, 3. There we go. So now we're in alignment, and I'm going to do it. So P plus P to get the second one, and I'm going to do a translate, which is to move laterally 200, and that hopefully will get what I want. Submit. And that's 100% match, and we'll take that. Yeah, it's like I'm not sure what my confidence level is that a radial gradient could get this done. I'm not sure. The 99%, 99.9% that we saw maybe is an indicator that you'd never quite get to a solution with a radial gradient. This is one of the trickiest parts about this game, this pursuit, that is a little difficult, because sometimes it really feels like there's a good solution and it's just never going to match in the way that you hope, because of a radial gradient, because of the particular way things are calculated in the browser. Even though it seems mathematically identical, it's a circle that's described in the same way. Why should it matter if it's a border radius versus a radial gradient? Because often they're very, very similar. They're mathematically identical, but something in the rendering engine just says, hey, that's a little bit different. So that's good. It's a nice 11-minute video. Hope you're doing well out there. Having a good day. It's a nice day. Um, Hard for a lot of people out there, but be good to yourself. Be good to each other. Go make a web page, and I'll see you again sometime. All right. Bye-bye.